Cool. Right. Let's go lie down. No, sit. Don't lie down. Sit up. Right. So let's start ourselves sitting up. We're going to begin to sit comfortably, crown lifting, spine growing tall. We'll just take a few moments of guided breath work, just to like visualization of the breath work. So feel that breath on the back of your nose, drawing in, and then exhale, floating out. And after 2 or 3 breaths, you're just kind of snuggling and settling in. Begin to watch as your breath draws in through the nose, and you're going to imagine you're going to trace it up over the nose, up over the crown of the head, down each and every vertebrae, each and every facet of your spine, all the way down, still breathing in. So you've kind of got this dichotomy, this kind of duality of the breath traveling down, yet the body growing up. And then the exhale as that breath, as that visualization travels over, around your perineum, up over the front of your belly, up over your navel, your sternum, all the way through your throat, your chin, your mouth, and out of the nose. And so you're going to try and breathe in for maybe 5 seconds and breathe out for 5 seconds. This little, almost like thread of breath just gets watched up, over, down, round, up and out. Inhaling up, over, and down. Exhale, round, up, down. And each time, try to find a relatively even 5 and 5. We are going to go in a minute and play with one of those breath patterns. I think we might have done last week, or I did it at the weekend. I can't remember when. I lose track. But one of the cooling breaths, which I've actually since discovered on some research, because I told you I didn't know how it worked. So I did some research and it doesn't work. It's actually a warming breath. All the research shows that it actually puts your body temperature up. But we're going to do it because it's a really nice way. While it does put the body temperature up, it does calm your heart rate, calm your blood pressure. Just 5 more of these simple breaths, drawing in for 5, watching that thread travel up, over, and down the spine. And exhaling, watching, feeling, imagining it traveling round, up, and out. Remember, as that breath is traveling, or as that thread is traveling back up, the breath is traveling down, your body is traveling down, the ribs are dropping, the belly's contracting, everything's shrinking down. So again, this little duality, this little dichotomy of the 2 things. 2 more of these breaths. So using now this Shatali breath, so this is where we just pop our teeth together, open our lips apart from our teeth. And you're just going to breathe in through the front of your teeth for a count of 5. And then exhaling out through your nose. Inhaling in through the mouth. Out through the nose. In through the mouth. Out through the nose. 2 more. Try to make the exhale really long and slow and steady. Inhale through the mouth. Out through the nose. Last one. Awesome. 2 more normal breaths, breathing in through your nose. Breathing out through your nose. You'll have found that your mouth got dried out while you were doing that breath. Hopefully just breathing 2 or 3 breaths in through your nose, slow, long and deep, should just begin to allow the saliva to build back up. So once you finish that last breath, uncross your legs from however they were. Bring them into a little bound angle pose, a little Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Grab any props that you might wish to have and allow yourself to find a little bit of comfort in here. Breathing in again for 4 and out for 6. And you're really going to just focus on this. In fact, throughout the whole of these things, these poses, see if you can breathe in for that 4 or 5, out for that 5 or 6. Watching and feeling as if that breath was traveling around that little go-kart track of your spine and your chest. By all means, if you wanted to sit up with your hands behind you and just have the knees dropping out to the side, that might also be an option for you if you're struggling with your hips. The further apart you take your feet away from your hips, hopefully the easier that should be, that the more accessible that should feel for you. So just gently letting yourself surrender into your position. So a lot of physical tension that quite often we hold is not a muscular thing, it's much more of a nervous system thing. The ability to try to release and relax, to soften our breath, to allow ourselves to not push into our deepest edges. And just watch and feel as that breath travels around its little go-kart track of your spine. tissues in your hips and your thighs all just begin to let go. Your back begins to soften. Might not be immediately, it might not be straight away. And take another 6 breaths in this pose. It's about a minute in total. Last 2 breaths. Final one. Slowly let yourself come back up. Take your left leg long out to the side. Pull your right leg in towards your right hip. So we're in a kind of half butterfly position. And then again, we're just going to allow ourselves to begin to pour perhaps our weight over the front leg. That might be an absolute nightmare. It might not go very far. If you've got pillows and blocks or bolsters or dogs or cats or kids or anything around, stick them under your left leg, under your left knee. Give that knee a bit of a chance. The bending of that knee should allow the belly to come forward a little bit more. Once you're then forward into a more comfortable position, you can relax. If you're finding that it's your right knee, which is up here and is stopping you, try and get some pillows under here so that it's not being held up by the tissues, that they can properly surrender down into the leg can surrender down into the pillow. So as I say, throughout this, we're going to be in this pose for about 2.5, 3 minutes. But we're just going to look at how hopefully we can try and quieten our brain waves down towards that what's called a theta range, which is the non-dreaming sleep stage. So it's that place where we find in yoga nidra, where we find in meditation, where we find sometimes in yin, where it's that kind of place between the conscious and the subconscious, or the unconscious, should I say. That place in which we're not awake, but we're not asleep. We suddenly just find that we're there. And this is a really good place for active kind of repairing of the body. Final exhale on this side. And allow yourself to gently sit up. Hands behind the back. Gently bring your right leg out, give it a little bounce. And then the left foot comes in towards the right. And then again, your own time, pillows, blocks, bolsters, whatever you need, pop them into that position and then allow yourself to relax down and relax forward over your leg. So again, it's kind of 3 minutes here. Watching, tracing, observing that little thread running up and down and round your body. When you find an area of tension begins to call out to you, observe the directions that the pull feels like it's in. Does it feel like it's from the outer hip up towards your shoulder? Does it feel like it's pulling your spine towards your hip, etc., etc.? Try to be aware of it and try and see if there's a way in which you can find the smallest little adjustments to perhaps just take a little bit of that tension away. Then return to the little headspace game of watching and breathing, feeling that breath travel up, round and down, under, up and out. Last full breath on this side. Slowly sitting your way back up. Hands behind your back. Legs come out. Just take a moment to let yourself come down onto your back. Just letting the whole body surrender down. Just find your low back and your tailbone gently tilting in both directions. Just small amounts. Just letting some of that tension that we might have just been building through a static hold, just be let go. And then rolling over onto the left side. Bring your left arm under your head as a little support. Bring your right knee across. Imagine you're in the old what's it called? Resuscitation type position. And then you're going to bend your left foot up in towards your right hand. So it's almost like doing a lying quad stretch. And then perhaps you can begin to shuffle your pelvis towards the right side of your mat, which should give you a slightly bigger pull through your left leg. If you wanted to, you could also begin to try to straighten your right leg across out in front of you a little bit. Slightly shorter one, just 90 seconds here. 9 breaths to surrender and move inwards. Final breath in this side then. Gently, steadily releasing that left foot. Roll over on towards your back. All the way down and round. So take a moment just to relax back onto your spine. Maybe have your knees up but not together. And then let's slowly, again, drop our knees over towards the right. Create that little pillow with your right arm. Bring your right foot into your left hand, left knee over the top. And then allow yourself to move into that space there. Over time you might find, I didn't really say it on the other side, but you could let the left shoulder open up towards the sky a bit, so you end up with just a little bit more of a twist through the chest. But again, that's not important, we didn't do it on the other side, so don't bust the gut to do that. 90 seconds. As you watch and you feel that breath through closed eyes travel up, over, down towards the pelvis. Relax your pelvic floor as you go. Inhaling as that breath travels around the base, up over your belly, over the chest, out of your nose. Inhale in, over and down, out as it travels under, up and out. 3 more breaths. the breath then. And then you can slowly begin to let that leg come back, roll on towards your back. If you're unfortunate like me, your back might click and crack. Legs long out in front or knocked together, or grab hold of them, your choice. Take a moment to breathe. Try to pay attention to your pelvis. Try to pay attention to your skull. Try to pay attention to your shoulders. Can you move in towards the center of each one? See how that feels. And then let yourself just rock back to where your perceived center is, where your idea of the middle is, where your idea of comfortable is. Let's take hold of the knees, one last pose, but double-sided, so two poses. We're going to roll our way up and find ourselves on towards our bum. And then we're going to find right leg, right shin forward, left shin to the side. I know you hate this one, Deb, sorry about that, but practice makes perfect and all that jazz. So, your variation of a stag. We're in this 90-90 leg shape. You could fold over the right hip. That should give you the easiest option. You could fold over your right foot. That would give you the hardest option. So you're going to pick something between those two spaces, between your thigh and your foot. Where does it feel most comfortable? If that means you need some pillows under your leg to support it, then obviously do that. Can you begin to notice as you breathe in and up, and out and down, that there becomes a pause, a momentary gap between your breath. You're not trying to hold the breath, you're just noticing that there's a gap. You're relaxing your shoulders, so you're not holding them, just let them drop to where they want to. That might mean that they're up in and around your ears, but that's cool, let it happen. Final breath on this side. And then when you're ready, lift yourself up. We're going to just windscreen wiper the legs straight over in the other direction, straight towards the left leg being, well, it'll be the back of your mat, but the front of your mat, whichever way you want to look at it. And again, remember this leg will quite likely be different to the first leg. Where you fold over will quite likely feel a different place. So find the one which works for you and allow yourself to snuggle in and down. Just sort of slightly depressing though. It really is ridiculous how dark it's getting, how quick. I don't like it. I want some sun again. So allow your breath to guide in, guide out. Can you just suddenly let your shoulders relax down a bit more? Can it feel as if you're not holding yourself up? Can you let it all go? 2 more breaths here. As you finish that final breath, we're going to work our way back up. Hands come behind the back. Windscreen wiper the legs in and out and just give them a little bit of movement. And then sweep your leg around and then get yourself comfy. Jumpers and blankets and socks and whatever else. Duvets if you're in your bedroom. Look at you, Neil. So allow yourself to snuggle down. Like I said, we're going to spend the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes just trying to completely let go. So with the Yoga Nidra, we kind of often talk about the rotation of consciousness. So the idea being is I'm going to mention parts of the body. So it's going to be, I'm going to systematically work through from the right hand down the right side to the left hand down the left side, down the front of the body, down the back of the body, etc. And I'm not going to give you very long for each part, so it's going to be 1 to maybe 3 seconds to each part. So try not to fixate on it, just hear the word, almost feel the body part without moving. Just be aware of the body part, and as soon as the next word comes, forget the last one, move on to the next. Forget the last one, move on to the next. We're just going to work our way through the body in this little rotation of consciousness. But first things first, as you find that little bit of comfort, as you find your head and shoulders, your pelvis and legs and heels all down in the floor, just begin again to move into that simple breath. Maybe take 2 rounds of an exhale out of the mouth, just to and feel as if you kind of flutter your lips, your cheeks and your jaw, let it all go, let it all relax. And as the eyes get heavy, as the eyes begin to close, just remind yourself that whilst it hopefully will be relaxing, this is still part of our practice. We're still practicing. This is Yoga Nidra, and that you will not fall asleep. You will stay awake, but you'll let yourself drift. Repeat to yourself, I will not fall asleep. I am practicing Yoga Nidra. And then just try to come up with a little simple sankalpa, so a little simple something that you would like to change about yourself, your life, your situation, whatever it might be. I would like to do something better. I'd like to spend more time relaxing. I'd like to, a little seed to plant. But what I'd like you to do is then, rather than saying I will, say it as in you will. So you're talking to yourself, but you're talking to the part of your brain, that kind of midbrain, which deals more in that, and that can, I don't know what it's called, not third person, first person, I don't know, whichever person it is, second maybe. Tell yourself you will manage to relax, but you will breathe through your nose, you will stop smoking, go to bed early, blah, 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 whatever it might be. Set that sankalpa, repeat it 2 to 3 times to yourself clearly. And then bring your focus and attention down to your right thumb. As I say, we start with the right hand. Find the right thumb in your third eye. So just allow that yourself to picture that right thumb. Your right index finger. Right middle finger. Right ring finger. Right little finger. Witness the right palm. The back of the right hand. Your right wrist. Your forearm, the inside of your forearm and the back of your forearm, the inside of your elbow, outside of your elbow, the bicep and the tricep. Notice and observe your shoulder, the whole shoulder. Notice the right armpit, the right side of the body, your right hip, your right thigh. Observe your right buttock, hamstring, your right knee, Witness the back of your right knee, your right shin, right calf, your right ankle, your right foot. Observe your right big toe and your third eye, your second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Moving the attention towards your left thumb. Observe your index finger, your middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Observe your left palm, the back of your left hand, your left forearm, the inside of your forearm, the outside of your forearm. Witness your elbow, the inside of your elbow, your bicep, your tricep, your whole left shoulder. Witness, observe your whole left shoulder, the left side of the body, the left armpit, your left hip, the left thigh bone, the left hamstring, your left knee. Observe the back of your left knee, releasing that left, your left calf muscle, your left shin bone, your left ankle, left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Observe the whole right side of the body. Observe the whole left side of the body. Again, observe the whole right side of the body. Observe the whole left side of the body. Moving up the back of your legs, starting with your heels. Observe your heels, the backs of your calves, the backs of your thighs, your buttocks, your pelvis, your low back, your middle back, your upper back, the back of your neck, the back of your head. Observe the whole of the back of your body just resting down on the floor. The whole of the back of the body just resting down on the floor. Observe the crown of your head, the front of your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyebrow center, your nose, the left nostril, and the right nostril. Your top lip, your left cheek, your right cheek, your left ear, and your right ear. Observe your two lips gently touching. Observe your jaw, your chin, throat, your collarbones, your sternum and your ribs, your upper belly, your navel and your lower belly, the front of your pelvis, the front of your hips. Observe the front of your thighs, your knees, your shins, and the front of your feet. Observe the whole of the back of your body, and then the whole of the front of your body. Imagine you were on the ceiling above you, looking down, observing the whole of the front of the body in stillness on the floor. The whole front of the body, the whole front of the body. Begin to feel and observe the whole of the body, the front, the back, the left, the right, everything just resting heavy, sinking down into the floor, the whole of the body just relaxing and letting go, surrendering into the earth and just allowing it to let go. Taking just one more minute here, reminding yourself that you're practicing your yoga nidra and that you will not sleep, you will stay awake, allowing the thoughts to come and to go. And then slowly beginning to repeat that simple sankalpa, little statement that you tried to come up with at the beginning, repeating that 3 times back to yourself. Imagining it's almost like planting a seed into the fertile soil. As we've relaxed and we've set back the different brain waves, as hopefully we've switched out of a really sympathetic system into a more parasympathetic, so we've moved away from the alpha and beta down in towards that theta side of things, that more sleep-like state. We can then begin to allow ideas to be planted easier. We don't have the nervous system getting in the way. Taking a nice long, slow, full deep breath, feeling the lungs fill. Slowly, gently begin to wriggle your toes and your fingers as you do. Allow the wrists and the ankles to slowly wriggle and shake as you do. Allow your knees to gently draw up in towards your belly. In your own time, in your own way, allow yourself to just gently roll forwards and backwards, finding your way to a seated position. There's no rush. Keep your eyes closed as you do. Sit nice and tall as we find the hands rising in prayer and up to the third eye. We fold forward down over the legs, Lakasa Samasta Sukha Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me.